All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and review graphing linear equations. So this thing right here is called a linear equation. A linear equation is written as y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope. When I say slope, I'm talking about our rise over our run. You guys might know it as our y point, which goes up and down, over our x, which goes right to left. Now, when I say up, up is positive, down is negative, left is negative, and right is positive. Now, the b in our linear equation, y equals mx plus b, is actually something called your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is your point on the y-axis. Right? And then we're just remembering that your y moves up and down. So your point is only going to be plotted up and down. It's not going to be on the x-axis. So let's take a look at this first example here. I have the equation of y equals 1/2 plus 3. Well, if I write y equals mx plus b over this, that might help me with my slope being m and my y-intercept being my b. So my slope, my m, is going to be 1/2, 1/2. So I'm going to rise 1 and then move to the right 2, rise over run. My y-intercept, I see, is a positive 3. So when I go to graph it, I'm going to look for my y. So right now I'm looking at the points going up and down. And I know that it's going to intercept at 3. So I'm going to go to my positive 3 and put my point. Now, for my slope, I'm going to plot a point starting at this point right here that I just made. I'm going to go up 1 and to the right 2. So I'm rising up 1 and then I'm running 2. So there's my line. Those are my points. Once I connect the dots, I've got my line. And that's it. Taking a look at this second example, I have my equation y equals 1/3x minus 4. So again, just to help me out, I'm going to do y equals mx plus b, where my m is my slope. Here, I see that my m is 1/3. And then I see that my y-intercept is not positive. It's actually a negative 4. And again, looking at my equation, my y-intercept is my b. So because my y-intercept is negative 4, remembering that y is the points moving up and down, if my y-intercept is negative 4, then I'm going to plot at negative 4. Next, my slope is 1/3, rise over run, 1/3. So I'm rising up 1 and then moving over 3. Up 1, 1, 2, 3. There's my second point. And then you've got yourself a line. Okay, looking at this slope, I know that my slope is positive because if that little man Greg were to drop down, right, he would start walking up the hill. And then I also know that it's positive because it says so right here in my equation. 1/3 is positive. It's not negative. But when I look at number 5, I have negative x plus 3. So I'm going to just rewrite my expression to help me identify my y-intercept and my slope. And again, when I say y-intercept, I'm talking about my b point. So what's interesting with slope is it has to be rise over run. In other words, it has to be a fraction. So here, my negative x really just means -1. But I need to turn -1 into a fraction. And to do that, all I'm going to do is put a 1 in the denominator. So now my slope is -1 over 1. And my y-intercept of b is going to be a +3. So now moving over to my graph, I'm looking at my y-axis. And I know that I need to plot 3 on there because that's what my linear equation told me to do. Now my slope, my rise, is actually going to be going down. I'm going to be going down -1 and then to the right 1. So down -1 to the right 1. There is my line. So now, if I were to drop little Greg, I don't know why I'm calling him Greg. I am sure that you guys are cringing, but whatever. That's what you get. So little Greg's on my line. Let's say that he falls. He's going to start falling down. I also know that this is negative because my slope is negative, and it tells me so in my equation. So let's take a look at one more. This one's a little complicated. I have my equation y equals -7 over 5x minus 3. When I write the formula for my linear equations, that's going to help me, right? I see that my slope, my m, is going to be -7 over 5. And then my y-intercept is -3. Again, when I say my y-intercept, I'm really talking about the b in my linear equation. So because my y-intercept's -3, I'm going to look at my y-axis, and I'm going to plot -3. And now my slope is -7 over 5. So what this would really be asking me to do is I would go down 7 and then to the right 5. But I can't do that because I'm running out of space. So I'm actually going to do the opposite. Instead of going down 7, I'm going to go up 7. And then instead of going to the right 5, I'm going to go to the left 5. And I'll show you guys why. So let's start at my point. And let's go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm right now at 4. And then let's go over to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had to double check myself there. And now I'm at this point. Okay, this one doesn't exist. It's not there. Don't look at it. Okay, so I'm at this point right here. Let's say that I'm now going to look at my slope, -7 over 5. That means that I should go down 7 and then over to the right 5. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then to the right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I ended up at my original point, that means that my slope is correct. I plotted it correctly. So all I'm going to do now is just connect the dots. Just like that. And then that's it. So just to review for you guys, we're going to look at linear equations when we are graphing. So a linear equation is written as y equals mx plus b, where m equals my slope. When I say slope, I'm talking about my rise over my run, or my y, which is up and down, over my x, which is left and right. When I'm moving up on my y-axis, that's positive. When I'm moving down, that's negative. When I'm moving to the left on my x-axis, that's negative. And when I'm moving to the right on my x-axis, that is positive. The b in my equation is going to stand for my y-intercept. And when I say y-intercept, I'm talking about the point on my y-axis. All right, well, thank you for watching. I hope that this helps. If you guys have any questions, you know where to find me. Have a good day.